In today's video, we're going to be playing Splinter Twin, or Twin Exarch, as someone has, for some reason, called it at the Modo offices. We're going to play this banned deck into other banned decks. The deck looks like this. There's only one banned card in it, so we've got no Gataxian Probe, no Treasure Cruiser, or anything like that. There isn't no ban list modern where the non-bans would come together to form an interesting alternative metagame. Instead, this is playing a supposed like stock list from back in the day. For those of you that are new here or relatively fresh to Magic, the deck's name, Splinter Twin, comes from this 4-mana enchantment. When we put this enchantment on either Deceiver, Exarch, or Pestamite, it allows that creature to tap to duplicate itself, to make a new copy of itself. The new copy enters the battlefield and untaps itself, and you tap it again to make a new copy. And all of these have haste, by the way. So you make infinite Exarchs or Pestamites and just kill your opponent. So you need to flash in one of these two flash threats in their end step, untap, twin, and then just kill them. And alongside that, it's just removal spells and counter spells. There was a time when LSV, I believe it was, said that Snapcaster Mage plus Lightning Bolt was a very good place to start any modern deck. I just don't think that's the case anymore. But we have 4 copies of Snapcaster and Lightning Bolts. We can win through a nickel and dime, like beat them up sort of game plan. We have 2 copies of Cryptic Command. I love casting Cryptic. It's been a hot minute since I have on the channel. Electrolyze, a Clique, 4 copies of Remand to slow down our opponent's game plan. Sometimes we just want to remand their thing on turn 5, flash this in, untap and get them. And then we've got Harvest Pyre as a removal spell. Maybe more for the Mirror and a few other... There's Eldrazi aggro and shit in this. Twisted Image, which is traditionally used to kill spell skites, but can do other tricksy bits too. I mean, it can make one of our Exarch slap for 4, which is pretty funny on a cantrip. Spell Snare, 4 copies of Serum Visions for setup, and Dispels to dispel counter, not counter magic, but counter magic and removal spells. Obviously not Abrupt Decays. And our mana base is some Fetches, Tarns, Misties, some Sulphur Falls, some Steam Vents, some basic lands, and Desolate Lighthouse to loot with as well. Our sideboard is an assortment of things. Things I do want to point out, though, is that we do have access to Blood Moon, which is pretty exciting. We have cards to kill other people's creatures. And we have 3 copies of Jayce Architect of Thought to play against Control or the grindier matches, although other than Bantstone, but I don't know what else there is to grind against in the format. Staticaster kills X1s, obviously. Again, not sure. I guess that's good against Eldrazi Mimics in the Eldrazi matchup. And then we've got Keranos, God of Storm, which is a card that I have not resolved in a long time and used to be a hot staple in the sideboards of Modern, and no longer is. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to smash that like button and drop me a comment down below. Tell me what you think of the video. There should be another ban list video going up this week as well. I want to get a couple of these in because it's a really fun format. If you do want to support the channel, there's a link to Patreon down below. For just $2 a month, you have access to the Discord server and an altar sleeve like this one that's just going out this month too. It's a new one every single month, and this was last month's. And if you're shopping at channelfireball.com, use the code Kenobi at checkout. And with that out of the way, let's play some fucking Magic. The reason we can play banned decks into other banned decks, by the way, is for this awesome event on MTGO. I just want to do a little shout out here to Modo. The fact that they're doing events like this where you can play old standard decks or modern banned decks and stuff, I think is fucking awesome. And it's testament to the fact that MTGO provides something that Arena doesn't or never will. Weird bit though is that here it is, right? And to find it, you have to go into limited Gauntlet, modern banned Gauntlet. Like, we're playing like pre-constructed decks, and it's not in the constructed queues, it's not in the modern queue bit, it's not in the specialty bit, it's in the limited Gauntlet bit. I don't know, just a weird bit of UI stuff that very much confused me. I didn't really understand it. Just so you all know, it's 6 tickets, it's $6 to enter. It's Phantom, you don't get any cards at the end of it, but you can win back your prizes. It closes in 2 days. Unfortunately, I didn't get around to record with it last week, but I'm hoping for more events like this in the future from Modo. This hand has spells in it, but they didn't do a whole lot, so we're going to mulligan this. This has 2 Serum Visions, which means we can probably transform this hand into something, so we're going to keep it. We have part of the combo. I'd like some form of interaction, but, you know, I'll accept this as it is. We're going to bottom the island, keeping the 2 Steam Vents, and we have 2 sources of red for the Twin on turn 4, 5, or 6. Our opponent played a Tarn. It might be that everyone's playing Twin. Twin is by far the most popular and most exciting of banned cards in the format. People love a bit of Twin. It's the reason that I'm leading with it in this series, right? Is to talk Twin because people love fucking Splinter Twin. I'm gonna bottom the Mystery Rainforest we just saw and top the Cryptic Command, I guess. Do we want a Cryptic? No, we want some actual action that we can cast in the next couple of turns, or the combo. So I'm bottoming the Cryptic. Now, if they are Twin as well, we want something to be able to kill the Pestamite or Exarch on turn 3, sorry, or something to interact with the Twin on the stack. At the moment, we have neither of those things. They crack and fetch a Steam Vent tapped. This is almost certainly the Mirror. I wonder if it's just going to be the Mirror all day long in this league. Serum Visions from our opponent. A tap land from them after the Serum Visions. Let's have a look at what they did so we feel like pros. They put 2 cards on the bottom of their library, similar to what we did. I'm going to play a Tarn here, and then we're going to Serum Visions. Now, I'm not going to fetch on end step if we see anything on top that we want. So we draw a twin, and we find Deceiver Exarch, Deceiver Exarch. So I'm going to put both of these on top of my library to try and brute force through the combo, because we haven't seen anything else. We have no other interaction. So I'm going to try going Deceiver Exarch Twin, and hopefully one of them will resolve. Misty Rainforest from our opponent. They're going to crack it here. Now, we topped both, so them just slamming like an Exarch, for example, to ask us to answer it with whatever we have of this mana would not make us shuffle our library. So they play an Exarch. They're going to untap the Steam Vents. So my plan here is I'm going to Exarch them in upkeep. I'm going to tap one of their lands, so they can't twin next turn. They're Serum Visioning again here. So we draw this Exarch. We know there's an Exarch on top, but we're about to shuffle it away now. So I'm going to crack this and get an island whilst they're tapped out. Not that there's anything that I think interacts with it in this format. We're going to grab another island, I guess. And then we're going to go ahead and upkeep. We're going to Deceiver Exarch them. This will either force them to counter the Exarch if they have a 3-mana counter. Although I don't think we have them in our deck. We know what they've got because they're playing the exact same deck we are. But this will make it so they cannot twin us this turn. They have a Remand. That's the less than 3 counter. So we still get to keep our Exarch, but it means they aren't twinning us this turn. They do draw a card off that though. So now they hit a land drop. So our next plan is to Deceiver Exarch the Exarch itself when they go to twin. Tapping it down. We're going to take 1 here, go to 16. We untap and we draw not a whole lot on islands. So we're going to play Misty Rainforest here. And then we're going to keep our Exarch up and we're going to Exarch their Exarch if they go for the twin combo. Now, with us having all this mana up, it's honestly unlikely that they will try that. They cast Serum Visions for 1 singular blue mana. I guess the correct thing to do at this point is to set up a twin turn with counter magic backup. Misty Rainforest from our opponent. Are they going to crack it? No, they're not going to go for twin, just raw dogging it. We take 1 here. We really don't have a whole lot. I don't want my Exarch killed. Let's crack this Misty. We're not going to actually go ahead and twin right now. Or Exarch right now. We're going to go ahead and actually cycle this lighthouse. I'll turn this island into something else. Another copy of twin. We'll discard that, which really gives away that we've got multiple copies of twin, right? Because they know we've got an Exarch. So maybe discarding a land was better. But getting enough land to have counter magic up as well is a much better. So we have a bolt there, which is rather unexciting. We'll play a Steam Vents tapped. And pass the turn to our opponent. So we've still got Exarch as a counter plan to them twinning. That said, if they have twin plus Remand, we are just dead. They have a second Exarch, which is fine because when you cast an aura, you have to target. So our Exarch still taps down their twin for a turn. They're going to tap down our lighthouse. There's not much we can do about that. We have to let that go. It means we can't lighthouse if we don't use our mana, but it means we still have Exarch mana here. They crack their Misty Rainforest. They failed to find with the Misty? No, they hit an island. What am I talking about? I thought they already had 2 islands in play. I'm a dum-dum. We're going to take 2 here. This is a 7-turn clock. We really can't just fire off the Exarch into counterspell here, as in the Cryptic Command. We drew Electrolyze, which in combination with Bolt does allow us to kill an Exarch. They play a 3rd Exarch here, which is frustrating, because they're just going to build a huge board of like 1 power creatures and slap us over and over. At least not a Pestamite. I mean, a Pestamite would be a clean up. We can clean up on a Pestamite and Exarch with Bolt plus Electrolyze. Actually, I'd rather a Pestamite at this stage. Pestamites are 2 power though, so they're better at this whole chunking you down plan. We're on a 4-turn clock now, at 12 life, taking 3 damage a turn. I will, in combat, try and kill some, because killing 1 here gives us a whole extra turn. So I'm going to Electrolyze 1 point of damage on 1 and 1 to their face. If they want to counter a spell, they need to counter the Electrolyze, really, because we draw a card off of it. Dispel from our opponents, there's the counter spell. They still have Cryptic Mana up and 4 cards in hand. We do have 5 cards, but they know one of them is Exarch, and they can guess one of them is Twin from the discard. So we only have 3 cards that they don't really know about. They're going to twin their Exarch here, which is a problem, because we can't stop it. So we now need to draw Twisted Fate or Electrolyze to kill this Exarch. I guess Cryptic Command to bounce it would also be good. There's a lot of options here. We didn't draw it. Now, we obviously have the mana to go Exarch plus Splinter Twin, but Exarch won't have haste. So we now have to draw a card and discard a card. We found a Pestamite, and that does not do it. We're going to get into rough. I don't really know what the mirror twin sideboard tech really was. I'm obviously bringing in the gate. That's a no-brainer, cutting it for a bolt. And I've cut both twisted images. I think I'm going to bring both Jason Architects of Thought as a way of basically his uptick means that unlimited Exarchs can't kill you. and his down tick generates you card advantage. I think Jace is good in the mirror, as well as grinding it out. I really want to put in the fourth one. I think Carol's at 5 mana is too much, but I want to bring in the other Jace, but I'm really not sure what else I would cut. Maybe just another bolt. That lessens our ability to like beat them up a little bit, then snappy bolt snappy. Bolt snappy bolt, which is 6 damage, obviously. We've won the die roll. We've got Twin, Dispel, Serum Visions, 3 lands, and a snappy. This is pretty decent, honestly. We're gonna make a blue mana here and cast Serum Visions. We found a Snapcaster. We're gonna put both of these on top. We want both of these cards. We're gonna go top and top. It doesn't matter which way around they are. Sometimes with that thing, you want to keep one on top. You don't want to get thought seized by the opponent, or classically when you're playing Serum Visions, which is not as commonly played in Modern as it used to be. But in this case, there is no peak, there is no Gitaxian Probe, there is no thought seize, so we're not going to be giving away any information by putting it into our hands. They're going to cast Serum Vision as well. They have bottomed one and topped one. We draw our Exarch. I think at this stage, what our game plan is to get to 5 mana and go for an Exarch into Twin, into Dispel on whatever they try to stop the Twin with. But we obviously need to hit a 5th land. So we might be snappy Serum Visioning next turn as opposed to playing the Exarch, which does put us a turn behind on the whole plan. But if we don't hit a land, it's probably for the best. So let's go with Snappy. And we're going to target Serum Visions. This means they're going to have 3 mana up next turn and they can make an Exarch, I guess. They're just going to remand the Snapcaster Mage, which is fine because we have to keep up Dispel. We could have dispelled the remand and tried to Snappy beating them down, which would have been a 10-turn clock and put some pressure on them, made them have to utilize their mana and their resources. So maybe that's the correct thing to do, but I don't think it is, because next turn we can do a similar thing. Now they're going to probably Exarch us next turn, and we're going to have nothing to answer it with. I mean, maybe there's an argument that what I kept with the Serum Visions, the combo piece plus a land, was incorrect. We want this chase to resolve, but there's a question of whether or not we're happy for it to get remanded and not to Exarch us, and I think we are. If they make a Pestamite here, though, we just lose the game if they go Pestamite into Twin. They don't have Pestamite because they're answering it with a remand. Cool, I'll take it. They do nothing, and they also miss a land drop. Are they missing a land drop? They go to second main and paused. Is this a missed land drop? Because that's pretty big if we hit our 5th land here. Because it means they haven't got Snappy plus Remand. They are paying costs, though. No, they decided not to pay costs. They're considering an end-step Exarch because they got 8 cards in hand. And that allows them to untap a land and keep up a Dispel or something similar. They ditched a Vendilion Clique. I think we're going to try and end-step an Exarch. Because if they try to counter it and we Dispel the counter, we then get to go Twin. But I guess they really shouldn't go for the counter magic on the Exarch. They should go for the counter magic on the Twin. Also means if we draw a 5th land, we have Splinter Twin plus Dispel on the following. Now they're going to go for an end-step Exarch here. So we can remand this, draw a card, or we can let it resolve and we can Exarch them next turn with them having up mana. I think we Exarch ourselves here. And that will then untap one of our lands and give us remand, so they can't Twin. So untap our Sulphur Fall, and then we remand their Exarch, actually. That's the plan here. Because if we don't, this enters the battlefield, they tap one of our lands, we don't have remand. So we've got an Exarch, and we remanded their Exarch back to hand. We draw a 5th land as well, which is pretty big. I almost punted that. It almost let their Exarch resolve, and they tap down one of our lands, and we wouldn't have an answer to them twinning us, because we don't have a Spell Pierce or similar, because Spell Pierce isn't in the list. I've also just realised that in our sideboard we have Combust. No, we have Rending Volley. Oh, we do have Do you have Combust? No, we only have Rending Volley, which is damage. It's not counterspell. We probably should be playing that, though, because it kills Exarch cleanly and can't be countered. If they play a Jace here, we might be on Snappy, make a Serum Visions plan, and then twinning our Snappy. They have Roast for the Deceiver Exarch. They have gone all in and bringing in all their removal. I wasn't too keen on bringing in Roast because it doesn't kill Pestamite. But that doesn't mean I've got less removal for their creatures than they have for us. We know they have Exarch in hand. They have 2 mana up here, which will be a remand. So we're probably going to go Jace upticking Dispel the remand. Jace, Architect of Thought. Upticking against about our bolt range as well. We're downting him, lets him be bolted. We're going to see a remand. So we're going to crack our Misty here, and we're going to grab a land. And we're going to use this blue mana to Dispel this remand. Now, I'm tempted to downtick the Jace just to draw a load of cards. But I also think upticking him might be pretty decent. Let's uptick him. They don't have to spend multiple resources to kill him. Roast and whatever the other one that I didn't bring in was. So we're doing Roast or Rending Volley. Neither of them can hit Jace. This is back when they weren't ready to start putting kill target Planeswalker on spells yet, and we've been asking for a long time. So credit where credit is due. We just now do that, and that's the correct thing to do. I really like the art on this mountain here from Phyrexia. This looks very Doom-esque, right? Like a level from the new Doom remakes. They have missed a land drop again. We're going to untap. We're going to down tick Jace here to hit land drops and just really refuel our hand and have all the options. Okay, so we've got a Sulphur Falls anyway. I think I'm going to, I don't know, protect the Jace? No. We're going to reveal some cards. Let's draw a lot of cards. We have so much mana here. Cryptic plus Remand is like so difficult for them to beat. Okay, so they're going to get to pile these. We're going to choose a pile to put into our hand. So we put Snappy into our hand. We put the lands on the bottom. And now we're just going to go ahead and pass back to them. Now, if they go Exarch, I'm tempted to go Cryptic Command, counter, bounce a land. Problem is, if they keep blue up and have to spell, we kind of lose a little bit here. So we can't really do that. Yeah, it's going to draw a card with Desolate Lighthouse. I really want to try and bolt Jace, or do something to Jace so we can Snappy dispel it. Okay, they've given up. We're so far ahead with Jason mana. We've hit 2 more land drops in them. They know what a Snappy in hand. They don't really fancy playing this game. I'm going to bring in both Rending Bodies. Now, we could cut Bolt, because this kills Exarch and Bolt doesn't, but Bolt threatens Jason. They're probably going to, if they're not playing Jason, they're definitely going to bring him in now after they saw how bad breaking that became. So, I think I'll bring them in over the Harvest Pyre for sure. And over one of the... No, we'll keep both bolts in, because that means we can Snappy Bolt them down as well. We didn't really get there in that game. We'll trim Electrolyze. It kills Pestimites and Exarchs. Pestimites and Vigilante Cleaves, but doesn't kill Exarchs. This hand is unkeepable. We have... it's a fucking mess. Okay, this hand is Bolt, Cryptic, Jace. Oh my god. We're just going to lose on a mulligan now, aren't we? I can't really keep this. That's mulligan. Okay, we've mulled to 4. It's a 1... Well, I feel like this has been such a good gameplay video. As in, like, I feel like we've had a really interesting back and forth. I feel like I've had insight. I feel like I've... fuck. And then we're just going to lose to this? That's mulligan again. Okay. It's taking the piss now. I thought maybe we'll have, like, Exarch, Twin, and 2 lands, and maybe we can just, like, jam it. I'm going to have to keep this, obviously. Put 3 cards in the bottom of my library. It's going to be Snappy, Electrolyte, and Exarch. There's a small chance that we just draw really fucking hot, but I'm sorry that this video, because I'm putting this out in a short time frame today because of some other bits and bobs that I'm committed to. I'm sorry that this is how the game will end, but I guess in some ways, that's just Magic, right? Like, Magic will often be a game where nothing happens because you mold to oblivion. And it's one of the... It's good that people can get unlucky and better players can lose to worse players, so... It gives them an out, almost. But at the same time, it is kind of soul-destroying that we've had 2 back-and-forth games. And then game 3 here, I am 1, 2, 3 cards down. Although I am on the draw, so I'm only 2 cards down. If you're new to Magic, by the way, or you're new to Modern, you might think 2 cards isn't a lot. It's a fucking lot, especially in a mirror like this. It's not like we're a favoured matchup, so we can get away on really powerful cards. So we're going to play Steam Vents tapped. And then we absolutely have to draw like a runner land. If we go land, twin, or land, Serum Visions, land, twin, or whatever, there's a small chance that their hand ends up lining up badly and we just get to randomly kill them. Making them have it might be our line here because we're so far behind. What a Serum Visions or a land, and we drew neither. Wow, that'll teach me for not keeping the 2 4-mana spells and 5 lands against the fucking Twin mirror. And this is one of the problems with Twin, I guess, as well. If we look at, like, why Twin was banned. I think at the time the reason it was banned for the interest of competitive diversity was fucking nonsense, right? But here, I couldn't keep a 5 lander and 2 4-drop spells. I think, oh no, 4 lands, 2 4-drops and a bolt, I think it was, wasn't it? Because if my opponent has the Twin combo, I just lose. So it forces you to have to mulligan into much more interactive hands. We have to hit a land here, we lose. Well, we actually might just lose. Because they tap this now, if they have Twin. If they've cast 1 Serum Visions and got the full combo. Which is another thing, right? And, not to complain too much, but I feel like I never ever had to have the combo after 1 cantrip. As we've seen in these games. I guess all I had in the first game was the combo. Are we dead to the Twin interaction? At least you get to see it before the video is out. Are they going to slam a Twin now? Can't even fake a Dispel. Well, even Dispel doesn't affect a Twin, but... yeah. That's a shame, really. It's not the most fun version of Magic, is it? The Twin mirror losing on a mull to 5. GG. Mull to 5. Cool. And this is what they do. Just to show you the interaction. They activate. They make a Deceiver Exarch. This one untaps the other one. And that's it. Here we go. This Exarch untaps this one. They activate it again. It makes another one. And then it untaps it. And that's the loop. That's the loop. Splinter Twin plus Exarch. It's strong. It's good. It's a powerful deck. I really enjoy it. I didn't really enjoy it. I really enjoyed its time in Modern. I used to feel like D&T had a relatively good matchup against it with our Plowshares and Whiffs off Vials and making Twin cost 5 and all this sort of stuff. It was, and also the relied on fetch lands, normally 8 fetch lands. So I had a good matchup into it, I guess. I guess if you had a bad matchup into it. But then again, Jund had a good matchup into it. And I felt like Jund having a good matchup against you when Jund was like one of the big dogs was a pretty reasonable thing to have in the format. So I was never keen to watch Twin get banned. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. I'm sorry that Game 3 was such a fucking crapshoot. I say crapshoot, just a pile of dog shit, really. But that is magic. That sometimes happens. Thanks for watching. Smash the like button. Let me know what you think of this video. There'll be at least one more game with Twin coming up in the next couple of days. In amongst all the other content that I make, because I make a ton of magic content. Don't forget to subscribe as well. I'm hoping to hit 90k by the end of the year. I'll see you all soon. Ta-ta for now.